Yeah, so at the moment we're coming up to the end of the post-2015 process, which has obviously been going on for the last 4 or 5 years. So we're really at a very political stage. You know, we had the consultation stage over the last couple of years, and we're now in a highly political stage where we're seeing a series of intergovernmental negotiations in New York. Governments are coming together on a monthly basis to discuss the outcome document, discuss the linkages with the FFD process, to discuss the accountability and follow-up mechanisms. So Beyond 2015 is working very closely to influence the negotiation sessions directly. So we work via a series of working groups and task forces which are bringing together colleagues from throughout the world who work together to create position papers, policy recommendations which are shared with negotiators a week or two in advance of the negotiations, so we can actively influence their positions during the negotiations. The positions which are created by these task forces largely are based on previous work that the campaign has been doing over the last few years, lots of consultations, national level deliberations, consultative sessions around the vision, the purpose, the values and the criteria of the post-2015 framework. So that's the kind of New York level that the campaign is working at, but we're also undertaking what we call the pincer movement, which is trying to link the New York level work with the capital level work. So we work through a system of almost 40 lead agencies throughout the world, trying to support and help them engage in direct level advocacy with their governments. So again, in advance of the intergovernmental negotiation sessions, we try to ensure that governments at the capital level are receiving the same information from the campaign as their negotiators are in New York as well, so that we have coherent and coordinated messages which are reaching the governments at both levels. So that's kind of the one main phase we're working on at the moment. But the other phase we're looking to move into at the moment is building political leadership for implementation of the post-2015 agenda. So we're looking to help civil society organisations, to help colleagues and lead agencies throughout the world propose specific methods that the governments could be using in terms of how they're going to actually set themselves up at a national level to implement the post-2015 agenda on the ground. What kind of policies can they put in place? What kind of commissions or political systems can they put in place to ensure proper implementation of the SDGs? So one thing which has become really clear from civil society organisations, colleagues participating in Beyond 2015 over the last few years, is that the accountability mechanisms are really the key to the post-2015 agenda. We can have the best agenda on paper as we like. If there's no accountability mechanisms built into it, then that risks undermining the whole agenda. One of the key bylines, if you like, of the post-2015 discussion so far has been leave no one behind. And one of the, if we look at unpacking that a little bit, you get into discussions around disaggregated data a lot. And what it means for different quintiles of the population, what it means for really the poorest of the poor, what it means for the marginalized groups, what it means for women, what it means for disabled, etc. And if we really want to insist on the true accountability, then we need to be pushing as hard as we can for this disaggregated data on a variety of levels. We have also an accountability task force who's just finalising a paper which will be used at the next intergovernmental negotiations in May, which is discussing precisely the accountability mechanisms. And so I think for us, the accountability mechanisms behind the post-2015 framework really need to focus on inward accountability from the state towards its citizens. And this links in a lot with what we're talking about in this session over here about empowering citizen-led accountability, citizen data collecting, etc. But more than that, because we're talking about a global framework here, national level accountability is not the only factor here. It also needs to be there needs to be regional level accountability mechanisms and also the global level accountability mechanisms. But what's really crucial for Beyond 2015 is that citizen participation in these accountability mechanisms at every level is really key, is really crucial. Festivals, I think, and opportunities like this data festival here give an opportunity for global actors, for civil society, for governments, for UN to come together and strategize about the way forward. I think these provide really valuable opportunities for for colleagues from throughout the world to meet face to face, to brainstorm, to strategize, and to share ideas, and to share motivation as well. The post 2015 process has been a marathon rather than a sprint. This has been a 4 or 5 year process, and gatherings like this really help provide and maintain the momentum and the motivation of colleagues throughout the world who sometimes feel that they're acting in their own corner, they're acting a little bit on their own, whereas when you come to global events like this, you often come away being very invigorated by the fact that you meet lots of other people who are working on the same things as you on the other side of the world as well. So we see these events as really crucial in terms of building the movement and building the trust between organizations as well.